Good morning, everyone. Today we will do the revision of lesson number 11, that is light, shadow, and reflection. So, we see so many things around us every day from the moment we wake up in the morning. We are able to see things because the light that falls on these objects bounce off and travel through space to reach our eyes, and that is why we are able to see things. So light is a natural agent that stimulates sight and makes things visible. Light is a natural agent, means it is naturally makes things visible to us. And this light is classified into two. First is emission of light, and the second one is reflection of light. So on the basis of the emission of light, objects are classified into two. First one is luminous objects and the second one is non-luminous objects. So what are these luminous objects? Objects which emit their own light are called luminous object. Objects which emit their own light, emit means which produce their own light, they are known as luminous objects. For example, candle, sun, electric torch, fire, firefly. Firefly is a natural luminous object. In Hindi you can call it as jugnu and etc. So those objects which emit their own light, they are known as luminous objects. You can see here also, sun is a luminous object, stars also, bulb also, and torch also. The second one are non-luminous objects. Objects which do not have their own light and are seen by the light scattered by them. So those objects which do not produce their own light and are seen by the light scattered by them are known as non-luminous objects. For example, moon, chair, wood, stones, leaves, flowers, they all are non-luminous objects. They do not produce their own light or they do not emit their own light, so they are known as non-luminous objects. For example, leaves, earth, stone, wood, moon, all these are non-luminous objects. Now on the basis of emission of light, objects are classified into two types, and on the basis of reflection of light, they are classified into three types. So what are these three types? These three types of objects which on the basis of reflection of light are transparent objects, translucent objects, and opaque objects. So first one are transparent objects. All substances that allow light to pass freely through them and through which objects can clearly be seen are known as transparent objects. So those objects or those substances through which those objects or those substances which allow light to pass through them, they are known as transparent objects. For example, glass, water, air, all these allow light to pass through them, that is why they are known as transparent objects. Now the next one is translucent objects. A substance or object that allows light to pass through it only partially are called translucent objects. Those objects which allow light to pass through them partially, not fully, so they are known as translucent objects. For example, butter paper, tissue paper, etc. They allow only partial light to pass through them, not completely, so they are known as translucent objects. The third one are opaque objects. Those objects that do not allow light to pass through them. Those objects or those substances which do not allow light to pass through them are known as opaque objects. For example, book, brick, stone, pencil, chair, etc. So, on the basis of reflection of light, the objects are classified into three types, that are transparent objects, translucent objects, and opaque objects. Transparent objects allow light to pass through them fully or completely. Translucent allows light to pass through them only partially, and opaque objects do not allow light to pass through them. Now the next is how light travels. Light travels in the form of rays. It doesn't need a medium to travel through. It can even travel through vacuum. So light travels in a form of rays and it travels in a straight line. So it doesn't need any medium to travel. It can travel through vacuum also. Vacuum means the space which is completely empty or which is completely vacant. That is known as a vacuum. So light travel through vacuum also. It travels at a speed of about 3 lakh kilometer per second. So the speed of light is 3 lakh kilometer per second. In 1 second it can travel about 3 lakh kilometer. Light from the sun takes about 8 minutes to travel 149 million kilometer from the sun to reach the earth. So light from the sun takes only 8 minutes to travel such a long distance, which is 149 million kilometer from the sun to reach the earth. And in 1 second light can go around the earth 7 times. In 1 second it can go around earth 7 times. So it can travel very fast. So light travels in the form of rays. When light falls on any object, so it reflects and bounce back to reach our eyes, and that is why we are able to see the objects, and it always travels in a straight line. So light travels in a straight line. Light rays travel in a straight line. When you switch on a torch in darkness, the light appears to travel straight ahead. So light rays travel in a straight line, and when you switch on a torch in darkness, the light appears to travel straight ahead. You can see that the light travels straight ahead if you switch on a torch in darkness. Similarly, when sunlight filters through a small hole into a dark room, it appears to travel in a straight line. So any light which comes from torch or sun or from any other luminous object, it can travel in a straight line. Now the next one is reflection of light. You know that on the basis of reflection of light, the objects are classified into three types: transparent, translucent, and opaque object. But what is this reflection? So the process of sending back the light rays which fall on the surface of an object, that is known as a reflection of light. You can see here also the light falls on a opaque object and it bounces back in a straight line. So this is an example of a reflection of light. Silver matter is one of the best reflector of light. You can see here also. This is the example of reflection of light. This is a mirror. And this is a source of light. When a light falls on this mirror, so some of the light is reflect. So the light which falls on mirror is known as the incident ray, and the light which reflect, that is known as reflected ray. So reflection can also be defined as the phenomena in which a ray of light, after falling on a smooth polished surface or a mirror, return to the same medium is called reflection. ऐसा phenomena जिसमें कि अगर किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट पे लाइट फॉल करेगी तो कुछ लाइट उसमें से रिफ्लेक्ट हो जाएगी, दैट इज नोन एज रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ लाइट. और रिफ्लेक्शन इज द बाउंसिंग बैक ऑफ लाइट व्हेन इट फॉल्स ऑन अ स्मूथ शाइनिंग सरफेस. एंड द रे ऑफ लाइट दैट फॉल्स ऑन अ मिरर, दैट इज नोन एज इंसिडेंट रे. दिस इज नोन एज इंसिडेंट रे. And the ray of light that comes back after suffering reflection from a mirror is known as the reflected ray of light. And the ray of light which comes back, that is known as reflected ray. So there are two rays. One is incident ray that falls on the mirror, and the another one is reflected ray which reflect after falling on a smooth polished surface. So this is the reflection of light. And what is the use of this reflection of light? The reflection of light is used to change the direction of light rays. So this reflection of light, the direction of light is used to change the direction of light rays. When a incident ray falls on this mirror, so it changes its direction. So to change the direction of light rays, reflection is used. So light is classified into two types. On the basis of emission of light, it is classified into luminous and non-luminous, and on the basis of reflection of light, it is classified as opaque objects, transparent object, and translucent objects. So luminous objects are those objects which emit light, and non-luminous objects are those objects which do not emit light. And on the basis of reflection of light, opaque objects, transparent object, and translucent object, you know very well that what are these. Now the next is reflection of light. So the process of sending back the light rays which fall on the surface of an object, that is called the reflection of light. It is used to change the direction of light rays. And there are two rays. One is incident ray, the second one is reflected ray. The incident ray is that ray that falls on a smooth polished surface, and the ray which reflect, that is known as the reflected ray. Absence of light. So a shadow is that region where the light is absent, or there is when or the region where there is no light, and light from a source is cut off by an obstacle and a shadow is formed. When a light is cut off by any opaque object, so the shadow is formed. By now you know that the light travels in a straight line. You all know that light travels in a straight line, and you also know that light cannot pass through opaque objects. Light can pass through a translucent object, transparent object, but it cannot pass through opaque object. So when light is stopped by an opaque object, so a dark area called shadow is formed. I'll explain you this with the help of this diagram. See, this is a light source, this is a opaque object, and this is shadow. So when the light falls on any opaque object, so opaque object doesn't allow the light to pass through it, and this opaque object blocks this path of light, and due to this blockage the shadow is formed. So in order to form a shadow, we need opaque objects only. Okay. And there, what are the characteristics of a shadow? There are three things are required for the formation of shadow. First is a light source, second is opaque object, and third is an opaque screen or surface where the shadow is to be formed. So there are three things are required. This is a light source, this is opaque object, and this is a surface where the shadow is formed. So 3 things are required in order to make a shadow. Position of a shadow. So when the light falls on any opaque object, the shadow is formed on the screen. Next is the shape of a shadow. The shape of a shadow depends on the angle in which the light falls on it, or the shape of the part of the object that blocks the path of the light. So the shape of a shadow depends on 2 things. First is the angle in which the light falls. See in these diagram. And second thing is the shape of the part of the object. So shape of that object which blocks the path of light. So it depends on the 2 things. That is why due to these different angles, the shape in all 3 diagrams are different. The shapes of the shadow in all 3 diagrams are different due to different angles in which light falls on it. Okay, so this is the shape of a shadow. Now the next is the size of a shadow. The size of a shadow is long when the light source is placed along the length of the object, and it is short when the light source is placed along the width of the object. When the light source is placed along the length, like here and here, so the shadow is long. And when the light source is placed along the width of the object, so it is short, like here. You must have seen that the length of your shadow on the ground keeps changing at different times of the day. Our shadow always changes with different times of the day. Why? In the morning and evening, the sun is positioned quite low in the sky and your shadow is long. When the sun is placed overhead in the afternoon, your shadow becomes short. So in the morning and evening, the sun is positioned quite low in the sky, that is why the shadow is long. And when the sun is placed overhead in the afternoon, so the shadow becomes short. So the size of a shadow depends on the length and the width of the object. Now, the size of a shadow decreases when the object is moved towards the screen. When the object is moved towards the screen, so the size of the shadow decreases, and the size of the shadow increases when the object is moved towards the light source. When the object is moved towards the light source, so the size of the shadow increases, and when the object is moved towards the screen, so the size of the shadow decreases. Next is types of shadow. There are 2 types of shadow. The kinds or the types of shadow depends upon the size of the source of the light. Due to a smaller light source, only one dark shadow is formed, and this is known as umbra. So this is a light source, and due to the smaller size of the light source, only this dark shadow is formed, and this dark shadow is known as umbra. And due to the larger extended light source, 2 shadows are formed, a dark one in the center like this, and a dark one in the center, and a light one outside, dark shadow. So this dark one is known as umbra, and this light one is known as penumbra. So there are 2 types of shadow. One is umbra, another is penumbra. Due to smaller light source, one dark shadow is formed, and due to larger light source, 2 shadows are formed. what is the color of the shadow? Whatever be the color of the opaque object, it doesn't matter that what is the color of the opaque object. Whatever be the color, the shadow formed is always of the same color, that is black. The shadow formed is always of black color. Now the next is pinhole camera. A pinhole camera is a device which is used to see the images of bright lit object, brightly shining objects like the sun, candle, etc. Lit means shining objects. So a pinhole camera is a camera with a hole but without a lens. A pinhole camera has a hole but it doesn't have any lens, and it is a device which is used to see the images of brightly lit objects. So it contains a hole but it doesn't have any lens. And what is the principle of this camera? This pinhole camera works on the principle that light travels in a straight line. So the principle of pinhole camera is it is based on the principle that light travels in a straight line. And what is the working of this pinhole camera? When the pinhole of the camera is turned towards the bright object, a real inverted image of the object is formed on the screen. You can see here, when this pinhole of the camera is turned towards the bright object, so a real inverted image, this is a real inverted image of the object, is formed on the screen. Inverted means opposite image. Now the nature has provided you a large number of pinhole cameras. There are a large number of pinhole camera present in our nature. You have to simply stand under a tree. Whenever we stand under a dense tree on a sunny day and watch the round patches of the light on the ground. On a sunny day, whenever we stand under a dense tree, so you can see the patches like here. You can see here. These are the patches of light, round patches of light on the ground. You can see anywhere under a dense tree on a sunny day. And these round patches are the images of the sun. These round patches are the images of the sun. And the gap between the leaves act as the pinhole. So whenever you stand under a dense tree on a sunny day, so the patches of light which you can see on the ground are the images of the sun, and the gap between these patches leaves, these patches between the leaves act as a pinhole. So this is the working of a pinhole camera. Now there are certain advantages and disadvantages of pinhole camera also. The advantages are no focusing is required. In pinhole camera, there is no focusing is required because there is no lens. Only a pinhole is present. There is no lens in the pinhole camera, therefore the image is free from the spherical and chromatic aberrations. So there is no lens in the pinhole camera, so the images is free from the spherical and chromatic aberration. So there is no color boundation and no shape boundation in pinhole camera. And there are some disadvantages also. The image form does not give any details. The images formed by the pinhole camera doesn't give any detail. Pinhole camera cannot be used for studying moving object, and pinhole camera doesn't work for moving object. It can work only for the constant or stable objects. Okay, so these two are the disadvantages, that the image form doesn't give any detail and the pinhole camera cannot be used for studying moving objects. Now the next is the difference between the image and shadow. So images show all the details of the object. Whenever you take the image or picture of any object, so it gives you all the details of that object. And a shadow, it is a dark outline formed behind an opaque body. It is a dark outline which is formed behind the opaque body, and it doesn't give any detail. Image is not misleading. Image never mislead, but the shadow of the object can be mislead. That we can make the different shadows with our hands also. So shadow of the object can mislead. Image may be upright or inverted. Image may be formed upright or inverted, but shadows are not inverted. Shadows are always upright. Image is formed due to reflection or refraction of light, and shadows are formed when light falls on the opaque object or body. So the images are formed due to the reflection of light and refraction of light, but the shadows are formed when the light falls on the opaque body, and these opaque body block the path of the light. So I hope you have understood this topic very well. Thank you, and see you in the next video.